Hi boys and girls, this is a review for course 2 for long division. We worked on this some in class the other day and a lot of people had a few questions, so I thought I'd put it down on a tape, on a movie, so that if you needed to double check or go back and review, you can. So if you're going to copy this down, you are going to need to have your own line paper. This is not a regular note session. Okay, so we're going to work several different problems just as, again, a quick review. So if we have the problem 15.594 divided by 2.3. Okay, first of all, remember we want to put this in user-friendly format, so our dividend, the number we're dividing by, comes outside, as we've already told it goodbye, so it's outside. And 15.594 goes on the inside. All right, now remember we need to have a whole number as our divisor, so we move our decimal point in this case one place to the right. We must treat each number equally, so we multiply by 10 or move our decimal point one place to the right there as well. That's the new home for the decimal point. Now I go to dividing. All right, now here's where you probably want to use a little bit of estimation. So 23 does not go into 15. Some people like to put zeros up here. I generally do not put them up there. So now I want to do 23 into about 155. So 23 is close to 25 and 155 is close to 150. There are 6 25s in 150, so I'm going to try a 6th. Now what you might even want to do is just pop off to the side and do it off on the side. So 3 times 6 is 18, 2 times 6 is 12, and 1 is 138. So I then subtract 138 from 155. I'll need to borrow, so 15 minus 8 is 7, and 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Again, you may choose to write down that 0 or not, depending on what you like to do. All right, so at this point with our remainder, we always want to be sure that our remainder is less than our divisor, and it is in this case, so that means chances are that the 6 worked well, and we should use, we can put that up there. At this point now we bring down the 9, so now I'm trying to divide into 179. So again, I'm going to estimate 23 is about 25 and 179 is close to 175. So I'm going to try a 7 now, and just by estimating, I'm pretty sure that's going to work. And when I multiply out, I see that that's 161. I know not everyone does this off to the side, and it's fine. You'll be using pencil, and I remember I normally write in pen just because it shows up a little bit better. Here, when I'm actually doing math for myself, I do do it in pencil myself. So 9 minus 1 is 8, 7 minus 6 is 1, that's a 0. 18 is less than 23, so I'm ready to bring down again. I bring down the 4, and okay, so now I have 23 times 184. I know 23 times 7 is 161. I think if I multiply by 8, or add another 23 here, however you like to do it, I get 184. Just remember that you multiply that by 8 in the end, and you should use an 8 there. At this point, you get a remainder of 0. So your answer here is 6.78 as your quotient. Quotient, remember, is the answer to a division problem. Okay, second problem. And this one, I think, this first one, most of you were fine on a problem like that. The second problem, though, raised more questions. 67.84 divided by 0.64. Again, we want to rewrite the problem in user-friendly format. So our divisor is outside and our dividend is inside. Move our decimal point in this place 2 places to the right, or that's like multiplying by 100, and go from there. So now I have 6,784 divided by 64. Okay, so remember, you want to look a little bit at a time. 64 doesn't go into 6, it goes into 67 one time. So subtract, it gives me a 3. 3 is smaller than 64. Bring down the 8. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. 64 does not go into 38. If I have brought something down, I am not allowed to bring something else down until I've put a placeholder up here. So I have to put a 0. At this point, some people like to multiply by the 0. I will this time. I normally do not. So that gives me 38. And I bring down my 4 now. Now that I've brought down the 4, I can divide one more time. And 60 times 6 would be 360. So I'm going to try a 6 up here. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry 2. 6 times 6 is 36, and 2 is 38. So I subtract, and I have a remainder of 0. My decimal point is actually right here at the end. Not necessary to write it. If it's there and this is how you presented your problem, that's fine. Okay. The alternative way, where you don't have to multiply by 0, I'll just go through those steps real quickly. It just takes a little bit less writing, and it's how I was taught to do it. Now I'm just going to take the problem after I've already moved the decimal points, okay? And I already know what my answer is supposed to be, but I'll fill in with the numbers. So 64 times 1 is 64. Subtract. Bring down the 8. 64 does not go into 38, so I'm going to put a 0. Once I have something in my quotient, I'm allowed to bring down again, and then multiply by 6 to get 384. It just takes a one less step basically to do. So you have your choice of what you want to do with that. Okay, the main thing is, remember, when you bring something down, before you can bring another digit down, you must put a placeholder over the digit that you did in fact bring down. Okay. All right. Let's look at this one. Next problem is 144.06 divided by 9.8. Okay. You want to rewrite your problem in user-friendly format, I like to say, because yeah, it's just much easier to work like this than trying to do long division in a horizontal format. Move my decimal points one place to the right, one place to the right, and I'm going to bring it straight up in my answer so that I don't forget. Okay, 98 doesn't go into 1 nor into 14. It only goes once into 144. So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to have to borrow. 14 minus 8 is 6. 13 minus 9 is 4. All right, so I have 46. That's smaller than 98, which is good. Now I'm ready to bring down. I have 460 now divided by 98. Well, 98 is real close to 100. So if I did 98 times 5, that's going to be almost 500. So I'm going to stick with the 4 because I think that's going to fit better. 4 times 8 is 32. Carry 3. 4 times 9 is 36. And 3 is 39. So I get 392, and I'm going to subtract here. I'm going to have to borrow. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 15 minus 9 is 6. And 68 is less than 98. That's a good thing. And I bring down my 6. Now, this is very close to 700, so I know that I'm going to have to use a 7 because I'm pretty sure that 6 is going to be too small. I know it's going to be too small. Okay, 7 times 8 is 56, carry 5. 7 times 9 is 63, and 5 is 68. So my final answer is 14.7. So I have a quotient of 14.7 for this problem. Okay. All right. I think that'll do for right now. That's just a quick review, just a couple of reminders. You can use estimation to help you decide where to start. Okay, don't start writing 1 times 98 or one, something like that, when with estimation you can get a good starting point. I would also keep my scratch word. Sometimes it comes in handy as you go down through the problem. So as you see, when I did scratch work off to the side, even though I did it in pen and I can't erase it, if I were doing this in pencil, I would leave this here as well, because it can sometimes come in very handy for your estimation purposes. Sometimes you can just do continued addition with it. So let your scratch work be your friend here, okay? It can be helpful. I hope this was helpful to you in reviewing some of the things. Of course, I can't review everything in this one, but hopefully this was helpful in reviewing and getting you back into long division. Thank you.